Мне тепла бы чуть-чуть, пусть немножко. Мне бы кто-нибудь здесь подышал на ладошки. Знаешь, холодно, брат, вот такое вот дело. Мерзнут пальцы, мерзнут мысли, мерзнет сердце, мерзнет тело. Я смотрю сквозь окно, в сердце стужа, в нем не видно того, кто мне нужен. Запотело стекло, в том все дело. Мерзнут пальцы, мерзнут мысли, мерзнет сердце, мерзнет тело.
It's not surprising to hear that Music City's in the middle of a growth spurt. It means more economic development, more businesses, and more housing.
But not all of that housing is affordable for residents who've lived in those communities for years, forcing some to move.
Now, this is something called gentrification, and Nashville city planners are busy looking for ways that neighborhoods can include everyone from all backgrounds.
We're not going to take it. We're not going to take sitting in rotten parks and in places that just aren't fit for living. We're not going to take it. There's a limit to a man's patience, and everyone knows that God, Christ, heaven, everyone knows that what we're asking is not $1 million. What we're asking for is humanity. We're asking to be allowed to live like human beings. And God, you tell us that this is too much to ask. You're sick. You're definitely sick.
First of all, I want you to introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Wilma Settles.
My name is JessicaGrace Keel Williams.
My name is Simone Boyd. The M is for, I'm named after two grandmothers, and so the M is for Margie and Nell.
Okay.
I live in the South Nashville area, right up Franklin Road. When I first moved over here, it was basically a black neighborhood.
It's all black, but it was during like the Jim Crow segregation.
Well, I moved here in 82.
82, okay.
1982,
Okay.
so I've been here like 47 years.
Okay.
And basically it was, you know, a real friendly neighborhood, family-oriented, and basically the blacks lived in the neighborhood. We all knew each other, our kids all played together. So it was a community, but also like a family community.
Okay.
I am born and raised in the city of San Diego, California, Southeast San Diego to be exact.
Okay. What city in the what explain Southeast San Diego to people who don't know what that's like?
For those that don't know how San Diego is situated, so we're on the coast and we have over 100 miles of beachfront. So all the way from Mexico, all the way up to Oceanside is San Diego. And then it goes inland by just a tad, but most of our city runs along the water. So Southeast is right out of the heartbeat of San Diego. So you have downtown right here, then you come to what we would call the urban part of the city. So it's mixed with people from all backgrounds. You have Hispanics, African Americans, Asian. It's just a population full of urban, upbeat atmosphere.
It's real diverse.
Very diverse.
Okay.
Born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee.
It's not that many of us that can say that.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I feel like more of us are moving back. I feel a lot of us have moved away and are moving back. So I like being from Nashville.
So did you grow up in Nashville, or like kind of the outskirts, like the
Hendersonville.
Not Hendersonville.
No disrespect to Hendersonville and Murfreesboro.
Not Murfreesboro.
No.
Not Smyrna.
I grew up in Bottom.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. What's the 37 what?
37218.
37218.
We did grow up, and this is still Davidson County, but up until about 5, we lived in Brentwood, with like that Brentwood Antioch line that is still Davidson County.
They call it Brentioch.
Brentioch, exactly. So we lived in Brentioch, then moved a little bit around Donaldson until I was, I think, about 12, 13, 14. And then we, you know, all my family and everybody we were raised in, my parents have been in Bordeaux for 30 years now.
30 years. Community. Define community to me.
So to me, community is teamwork makes the dream work. I'm a teamwork makes the dream work girly. So to me, that means that we can all come outside of our homes and live in the outside world together cohesively and have a good experience. I'm learning from you, you're learning from me. We have a good experience and we are growing together in our atmosphere. I believe it's working together, playing together, and just evolving together in your human spirit.
People you can count on. People that you can count on, and you know, without a shadow of a doubt, they want what's best for you. That's what community is.
For me, I think a community is where you all come together. You know, you got each other's backs. You know, just having an interest in looking out for each other.
Being in Bordeaux, seeing it 30 years ago versus now. It's about the same still.
Yeah.
That's like
it's so great.
Yeah.
Aside from the highway, the Clarksville Pike widening,
right.
Not a lot has changed. You know, you think about business. My uncle is Sam Kirk, and they have they did a multi-use building, and so that's the newest development in like decades there, and that's right on Clarksville Highway, across from Kroger, downtown Bordeaux, if you will. So
downtown Bordeaux.
Downtown, right by the library. If Bordeaux has a downtown,
right,
it's that intersection right there.
Right. So, as soon as you get out of Bordeaux, 2 minutes, whole different scenery.
Whole different scenery.
Let me ask you, why do you think Bordeaux remained the same and everywhere else, like on Buchanan, it kind of shifted towards gentrification is what they call it, right?
Yeah.
New developments.
Yeah.
Multi-unit homes. Why do you think Bordeaux kept that?
Yeah, and so that's actually something that I want to talk about. I'm glad this is a great segue because Bordeaux, when I was growing up there, we heard it as like, this is like the Black Belle Mead. You know, you have lawyers, doctors, teachers, you know, professors. And so from a political power standpoint, I feel like once integration happened, once North Nashville was broken up, the people that either had to leave or could leave moved to Bordeaux, Gold Coast, Haynes, like those neighborhoods where they could get all brick homes, which having a all brick home was a sign of permanence. And they also had those huge lots. And those are generational homes. Whereas in North Nashville, what remained after the interstate, from my perspective, is people who could not move out, people who chose to stay here. But also we also had a lot of renters and people who did not have this stability that this upwardly mobile, middle, upper class, black class had. And so I think the land, I think the fact that they have owned those homes for 30, 40 years. Like when you move to Bordeaux, you move to stay. You don't know your neighbors, you know. And I hate to be repetitive and go back to say, well, we all knew each other, we all grew up together, our kids grew up together. But you don't have that anymore. Your neighbors might wave, but you don't know who they are. You know, you just wave back, because best I'm always on this porch. Yeah. And I love sitting out here. But it's no relationship with my neighbors, other than I say if you got a close neighbor, and it's only because of, I believe because my neighbors that's moved next door to me, they are pretty much like me. They're very friendly, very open. I always said, do you need some help? I keep my brother Bill, I'm his caregiver. Said anytime you need help with him, let us know. And that's how the community used to be. Right.
Humbly grounded, shall I say, when I first got to Nashville. So even though there was maybe a quite not of understanding of who I was and me not quite understanding who this was, there was still like this, humble grounding, shall I say. Like everyone was just settled in their own space. And then every time I would fly out of Nashville, I did look down at the housing. And this is with all love and respect. I look down, I'm like, they're gonna rechange this whole entire city. And this is just from being a college student, looking down as I'm coming into the city, just looking at how it's all set up.
Yeah.
And so one, I just kind of saw that side. Then two, and I saw it as a place of a lot of opportunity. So a lot of people could buy homes. A lot of people, you had college students everywhere. You know, it was a ground of educating. So as a college student, I'm seeing it from only a perspective of school.
Yes, I think that absolutely education is a piece. But we have to keep in mind that there was a system meant to break up the power structure that was here in North Nashville and the black political system in Nashville in general. When you go back to the rise of the metropolitan government, where Nashville primarily, in the 50s, 60s, before consolidated with Davidson County, was primarily black.
Right.
And I don't know if you've ever heard people say this, but it's like, we don't want to be Atlanta.
Right.
And what they mean by that is they didn't want to be a black political power. They didn't want black people running things. And so with this consolidation of power and keeping some power, like Belmead has its own police force and mayor, if I'm not mistaken, Oak Hill has its own police force and mayors, so they're in Davidson County, but they get to do what they want to do.
Right, Berry Hill. Yeah, I see them a lot,
Berry Hill, but we don't have that in Bordeaux.
Right.
And so I think it is education, but you have to keep in mind there were some historical structures that worked to uproot the black businesses, the black families, the black class that was here. And, I mean, we as black people have to take some responsibility for that. Again, when integration happened, a lot of us left that could leave. Right. And many went to Bordeaux, and that's okay. But what was left behind, or those that chose to stay, you're right, did not have as much of the educational attainment as Bordeaux.
Right.
Did not have, and even you see how, District 2, District 1, and just how they've been able to hang on in ways that we have not necessarily been.
Well, for one thing, they call you. We want to buy your house. We want to buy your house. And to some people, $200,000 is a whole lot of money. Right. And that's all they don't offer you that much. And then you sell and they build a house there for $800,000,
right.
Like the house next door to me went for $675,000, but she just got $200,000. I mean, we can do that ourselves. If you want to, you can build on, or you can, if you don't want to stay in the neighborhood, you can keep your property, just invest in someone that can build you in your home, and you can sell it yourself. Right. We don't think that way.
Get creative with it.
Right, get creative with it. We just want, they're going to give me $200,000. That money doesn't go anywhere. Sure. Then you got to pay taxes on it.
I think it's important to first advocate to the city, because this is really a Nashville, Tennessee city planning problem.
Right.
You could never go into San Diego and think you finna tear one house down and override it over the rest of the neighborhood.
The whole community.
Yeah, so there's no respect.
Yeah.
It's not even, so like, to me, it's because gentrification is bound to happen everywhere. Like, you gotta like San Diego, we renovate our neighborhoods and we bring them, but the difference is we renovate the neighborhood. We enhance it. Like, I can see the difference in my house, my neighborhood, go from being what would have been like, that it could have easily gone the other direction, but it didn't. It went this direction, because as the values start to go up, you start to see the homeowners start to plant plants and do roofs. And so now it looks like a little village, almost like small homes, but a village. But I think the challenge with Nashville is there are areas that definitely need new homes to be built in. But when you go in and make the rest of the people in the neighborhood feel like there's no cohesiveness, then it looks like it's no cohesiveness. Right. So that's why Nashville, especially North Nashville specifically, it looks like this. There's no common development pathway to bring it all up together.
When you first moved here, how much was this house worth?
When I first moved here, the people was foreclosed on, right?
Right.
And the house was paid. It was $11,000.
$11,000 for where we at right now.
For where I am now.
And we probably like 5 minutes from downtown.
5 minutes from downtown. Now the house is appraised for $887,000.
So it went from
$1,700 in taxes
to 8. So we almost at $1 million right now.
Right. It went, and some people got it online as worth more. This is just the assessment.
Assessment, okay.
They the one that did the 887.
That's crazy.
So we paid $11,000 for it.
$11,000, and then property tax was how much then?
I didn't pay them in the beginning, but as I came, it's like 82 and divorced in 95, started paying $1,700.
And then we look at it now.
It's $5,000.
$5,000.
Yeah.
And that's just because of gentrification.
Right, exactly. It's because of all these houses they build. And
Again, I'm thankful to being able to understand the power of being a Black woman. I would not have understood that being in San Diego. I've definitely experienced a lot of discrimination in Nashville, not even from other cultures, but directly in my own community.
A lot of colorism.
I think it's more so personality-wise.
Okay.
I think it's being joyful, it's looked at as being ditzy. I'm a very intelligent woman. I understand metro planning system like the back of my hand. I love development. I love building. I love numbers. I spend all night like excited to be on the mapping system. Right. So, but I think sometimes it could be perceived that you are in Lolly Dolly land by being like, hi, da, 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 like as if you don't know your work. And I think, again, that shows they feel like they have to create themselves to be something different.
I want to mention is just like the Titan Stadium. The Titan, I was very vocal, adamant opponent of the way the Titan Stadium was funded. Right. Now, if Amy and her family was paying for it, y'all do what y'all want to do.
Y'all handle that.
But because it was taxpayer money, we spent $1 billion, over $1 billion of taxpayer money on the stadium. I was very vocal and adamant against it. And a lot of that was due because my family lost our family home growing up. And so housing is just a moral right. I feel like I don't understand in the world's wealthiest nation why we have people living on the street. That is unconscionable to me.
Right.
But one of the things that happened during the stadium fight was that a lot of Black, I'm going to say leaders or people of influence, from my perspective, sold their proximity to other Black people. And what I mean by that is, if you were a Black person and you knew other Black people, for example, during the public hearing, the first person in line speaking in support of the stadium was Eddie George. Eddie George don't care nothing about what we got going on over here. He is rich. He can do whatever he want to do. But they needed a Black person to get up and say, this is going to be good for the Black people.
Right.
And that's what he did. He got up there and shucked and jived. And I talked to him personally. I'm not saying nothing that I ain't saying him in person. Before he went up to the public comment, I was like, you don't know me, but please don't do this. We have people in Napier who are drinking dirty water, who walk 2 miles, their kids walk 2 miles to go to McGavick High School. And you're going to get up here and say that we should spend $1 billion of taxpayer money when kids don't have drinking water? Like, that's outrageous. But we have so many. I'm going to name him and I'm going to stop. Well, Glenda Glover was another one.
Oh,
because
let it rip.
There's about a dozen other people who the mayor's office and these political people who they know, oh, we need some Black person to go out and say what the Black people think. Let's hire this person. And they do it because you get invited to the mayor's Christmas parties, you get the contracts, you get the Western, but as a result, our people suffer, and I have a hard time with that. And I'm a very sensitive person. That's why I don't go out much. That's why I don't talk to a lot of people because it's just like it pains me that after all our people have been through, you could squander. Let me not say squander, because I respect that people have, again, we live in a capitalist system. People have to work. People have to figure out how to live in these systems and feed their family. But at some point, I think that there should be a moral line in the ground where you're not going to cross. And I haven't seen that. So I find that disappointing.
Man, that's crazy. I'm sitting here like, what do I ask next? I'm listening. I'm intrigued. I'm like, Eddie George.
Right.
What I noticed in Nashville is that they do not put money into getting those kids from point A to point B. And that's imperative. So what I realized that the probability of the kids that I was seeing and running into had a very low probability of being able to live the highest and best life that they were going to ever be able to live. And so as seeing kids running up and down the block. I don't know their situation. They could be great, they could read, I don't know. But I was like, I'm here. How can I give them a little piece of me and then invite my whole community into them? So at least with these families, I can commit to assuring that they can read and that they can write. And if their parents need any kind of assistance, then we can do it. And that anything that's of a resource to me will be of a resource to them.
When they were first discussing the bike lanes, I got to work with the planning department and Metro Public Works and Metro Arts to help guide community feedback on the bike lanes. And initially, they were going to put the bus stop at the end of the block, right by that stop sign. And I said, no, don't put it right there, because we have people in wheelchairs. And if they people, and you just saw somebody, but if they had a wheelchair, they had to go up the hill to come right there. So because I asked them, they did the bus stop right here. So they get to roll right under the awning into there. But again, because I had the space, because I had privilege, because I had education, like I was able to do some of that advocacy work, which we need hundreds of people paying attention to what's going on and thinking how to make our lives just a little bit better. And so, like I said, it's tough for me to talk about those things because I don't want to, and I did this and that. But
it's important, because you inspire the next person.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm inspired talking. I would never think of something that considered something so major. There's something that's so little. That's an easy fix,
It's an easy fix.
I drive past the street every day. Every day. I wouldn't have thought of that.
If they're going to come into the neighborhood, with us is convenient because we have association. Yeah. And come speak to the people, what their plans are, what they're gonna do, And I think it also help too, a lot of people, not just blacks, but a lot of people, black, white, whatever, can't afford the price of the housing that's being built. If they could say, okay, we're gonna build this house, but we're gonna build also, what you call it, not low income, what you call it?
Like low income.
Like low income housing.
Affordable homes.
Affordable homes, yeah, not low incomes, but affordable homes. To just make them feel a little better, because there's a lot of blacks who like to come in here into this neighborhood. And they asked me, they said, how you live in that neighborhood? I said, well, I was here before this house.
We need to have the city focus more on our neighborhoods to get it together. Not, let's do a sidewalk when you decide to build.
Right.
That's crazy. Yeah. So you mean to tell me I only get a new sidewalk and then the neighbor next door sidewalk looks like
the same one from 30 years ago?
Correct.
Right. Okay.
So you can't do it that way. The city should focus on street by street by street to bring those sidewalks up, to plant the plants in that area and enhance that community. And I think that's what developers can do together. And I believe that if you could put in your budget just a small or some kind of money to allocate to your direct street. So just like what we did on 17th Avenue, we allocate, I gave them computers. I have three Apple computers.
And these are people in the neighborhood, right?
The kids,
okay,
yep.
The kids. Okay. Yeah.
So I looked at all I have and what I can give to this particular street. We know when this sells, we're going to be able to turn a profit. You're going to be able to make money. You can put something in there for them and build a relationship with them. Don't just go on the street, build your house, and be out.
Right.
But if you can say hi to the kids, say hello to the neighbor, and try to evolve the communities, then I think it would make for a better space.
But for you being in the space that you're in, I would love if, and this is, again, I have a wish list.
Throw it to me. Throw it to me.
I would love if more developers would think about their revenue or their profit, even just the profit. 10% of our profit, however much we're going to bring in. You don't even got to give it back to the community, but say we made, $10,000 this month. So that's $1,000 profit. So we're going to do $1,000 worth of repairs for somebody in the neighborhood for free.
Right.
As a business owner, I'm a writer, I'm an artist. One of the things that I set out to do in prayer and talking to the Lord, because that's my faith system, is I'm a follower of Jesus, and Jesus came to help the poor and set the captives free. And so that's what I believe. And I don't use the term Christian a lot because they wilding right now.
They wild. Wow. Okay. We can go deep in that one, but we'll save that one.
We'll set up another conversation.
Yeah, we'll save that one.
Oh.
No, they going.
Oh my goodness. But one of the things I do for my business, I look at when I get, a new contract or a new something, 10% of that money goes back out. Whether that is to, and some of the organizations don't even know who I am. I just send it, and because they're doing things that I can't do.
Right.
And they're reaching people that I cannot reach. And I just want to be able to support that.
Yeah.
Another piece of giving away money is it ensures that money doesn't have you. I want to have money, but I don't want to be controlled by money.
Exactly.
And so many of us are a slave to our lifestyle, by the things we want, by the things how we're marketed. And I told you, I was like, my car's a 2007. Every time I take it to a mechanic, he's like, every time we've had the same mechanic, it's like, when you gonna get a new car? I'm like, fix it. It's just
keep going.
It's just gonna keep going. Because Bell Hooks said, the quickest way to rid ourselves of greed is to live a simple life. And so I'm trying to do that so that we have more space to support and give. And I still like nice things. I still want to go on vacation. Yeah. I'm not saying we got to be raggedy.
Right. But we can have a little fun, but we got to get to the basics.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, because I want to know what I can do to be a part of this change. Like I was telling you on our Zoom call on 17th, just watching the lady walk to the Dollar General every day. I'm sitting in my car with AC. It's the hot summer. I'm finna go give me a gyro, a euro around the corner. She's walking to the dollar store, and I get to go home. That hit me. I need to know what I need to do to be a part of this change. And you telling me that is just like, okay, lock in, Kim. It's more to it,
And one of the things that I so appreciate you is that you're willing to accept accountability.
Yes.
You're like, I have a leg up.
Right.
What am I gonna do with this?
What are we gonna do with it? Yeah.
Right. And I just so appreciate the people who are asking those questions. So many of us are not.
Right.
And so first, I just want to acknowledge and express deep gratitude for that.